Hi, this is Freddy,
And this is Marky.
and we are here to help you get the best deals at the lowest possible price. And with that being said, let's get started.
Our first deal for PlayStation is hanging out over at the PlayStation Store, of course, and we actually got a half off sale for a game that you might have heard of a few years ago, but I would recommend giving it a shot now. It is No Man's Sky, still selling there full for $59.99. It's actually half off down to $29.99. And I'm going to mention that because actually it's a perfect time to grab it. Heck, within this week, they just added a new update called the No Man's Sky Frontiers update. And if you want to feel extremely old, it also celebrated its 5-year anniversary. And if you haven't been catching up with it during that time, it's made some vast improvements from its initial launch. So many different things have been added, more procedural maps or more crazier environments, one that more accurately matched those trailers that we saw way back when. The ability to create bases, and now the ability to create full-on settlements with different characters, giant creatures to ride, giant creatures to fight, different ships, and different scenarios all around that you can explore in a still mostly uncharted galaxy. And being able to play with others is a great benefit too that was added as well. It's a fantastic game that's now really adopting that survival genre that it was really striving for rather. It's a great deal at $29.99. I'd highly recommend it at this price.
We will continue with the PlayStation Store that has many great deals this week. If you want a game with a lot of exploration, good story, but without using any brain cells to learn the buttons of a game, then Everybody's Gone to the Rupture is the game to go and you need to check it out. The game takes place in a small village where its inhabitants disappear for mysterious reasons, and you will be exploring what happened. The graphics pay special attention to the smallest detail as you will explore the village, and the voice acting and the hymnal sounds throughout the game are phenomenal and they will add to the mystery vibe in the game. The game doesn't have any action buttons except maybe for opening doors or simple stuff like that, but it's still the story is the reason you gotta play this game because it's really a fulfilling adventure. One extra note that I would like to mention that the character walks super slow, and the option menu doesn't show you that there is any sprint button. But thanks to a Reddit post that I came across, it turned to be there is a hidden one. You need to press the R2 for at least 7 seconds and the character will start sprinting. So make sure you do that. Since the game doesn't have any way to lose, this game will make a great candidate to end a stressful day. Your significant other that stresses out when there is more than one button to press will for sure also enjoy it. The price is currently at $10, dropping all the way from its regular price of $20, and that's why we recommend it.
Of course, if you've been enjoying the video so far, don't forget to hit the like button, maybe click subscribe and the bell icon while you're at it, so that way you can stay on top with all of our YouTube stories, and be sure to follow a Gaming Input Twitter so that we can catch you up on any more quick flash sales as they become available.
Subscribing will help you get the deals before they expire, but more importantly, they will also help our channel grow. Our goal is to build a community of gamers who are like us, who wants to play a lot of games but don't want to break the bank playing them. Alright, enough talking and let's get back to the deals.
Our next PlayStation deal is surprisingly still over at the PlayStation Store, and it's for another great one. This one's a first-person shooter RPG. I'm talking about Borderlands 3. Still $60 normally, but you can grab it all the way down to $19.99. And I like to recommend this game a lot to generic shooter fans in general too. While there is a lot of leveling up, some skills, and a lot of different stats and guns to keep track of, I feel the gameplay of it is more than satisfactory for any kind of first-person shooter fan to really dive into, whether they're big in RPGs or not. If anything, the story with its silly tongue-in-cheek humor and a lot of references, some dated, but there's still some good ones in there, it's a good balance overall, is more than enough to keep people playing. There's a lot to do, and they keep adding on more, be it cosmetic DLC, be it full-on season passes, and they're getting ready for yet another season pass with even more stuff to add, and of course, more weapons. This game has made weapons extremely crazy, more than ever before if you've played Borderlands 1 or 2. I think the closest one that I found was a rocket launcher that shot hamburgers that also protruded a rainbow and I think made a farting noise when they blew up. Probably enticed like half of you with that sentence. And I want to make sure you get to experience that and many of the more guns that are going to be added to the game. And you get to explore all of that for just 20 bucks. And by the way, this is both for the PS4 and the PS5 version. So whether you get the next generation or not, you'll be ready for it if you don't have it already.
We will continue with digital games on PlayStation Store, and this time the game we chose is Crash Bandicoot Bundle. The bundle includes the trilogy, which includes the adventure, the first one, second one, and the third one. And on top of that, you get the Nitro Fuel game, which is the racing one. All these games we grew up playing back in the days on PlayStation 1, and they have a lot of nostalgic feelings. Now, all the games got the visual upgrades and they're all in HD quality. In terms of the trilogy one, I recommend if you're new to the series, start from the second one, because the first one it might frustrate you a little bit because it has some spots that require a lot of precision that I felt they were unnecessary. But the second and the third one were very diverse and they fixed that issue. And the third one is, in my opinion, the masterpiece out of all three of them. In regard to the Nitro Fuel game, you can think of it as similar or equivalent to Mario Kart on the Nintendo, but this time you have all Crash characters. Now you don't have the banana or the stars like in Mario. Instead, you have missiles and grenades that you can throw at your opponents. Also, you can play with your friends online in a race and against each other. Now, unlike Mario Kart, Crash Nitro Fuel will reward players who utilize a lot of drifting at every corner they see, and people who know the levels so much that they can take shortcuts. The game is still very fun to play, especially with friends online and even locally. And you have also other game modes like Capture the Flag or Battles, so it's still a very fun game to play. Now, all these games for the price of $33 is almost the price of one or the other game, so I really like that you can get all the bundles at this price. Also, before I forget, if you are a PlayStation 5 owner, then you don't have to pay anything to get Crash Bandicoot the trilogy. It should be free if you are a subscriber to the PlayStation Plus collection. So I just want to let you know before you spend any money on it.
And what would a PlayStation video be without some honorable mentions for you? For myself, I got two to throw at you. One of them is Uncharted 4, of course, the conclusion to the entire Nathan Drake saga, all the way down to just $9.99. Some fantastic story, fantastic action adventure, rather. It's definitely worth a shot, especially at that price. And the other mention I have for you is for Control Ultimate Edition. Normally $40. It's actually got you down to $19.99, but even better, if you're a PlayStation Plus member and you've been taking advantage of the free Crash, like Freddie was mentioning earlier, you get an extra 10% off on that sale price, meaning you can grab it for $15.99. And I was going to recommend it at $30, because Control Ultimate Edition is a fantastic, psychologically chilling, but really, really immersive third-person shooter. I won't say too much for the sake of spoilers. I just recommend everybody giving it a shot. It's a lot more action-packed, but also a lot more trippier than you would think, and it's a great grab at that price. Of course, quick side note, the Ultimate Edition of Control, it covers both the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 versions. So if you want to get yourself covered for the next gen, or you already have the next gen, still a great price to grab it.
Now, when it comes to the deals, we didn't find great deals at GameStop, Best Buy, or Target. But Cash App is still holding that coupon 15% discount on any purchase if you use the debit card from Cash App. Now, I'm getting a lot of questions about how to do it, so I tried to make a simple diagram. It's very simple. You use my referral link and we both get like referral bonus. And then once you have the debit card activated, it takes maybe a week or two. And after that, you can apply the boost and then go to the PlayStation Store, make any purchase and get the bonus back. It's usually 50%. I think you can use it multiple times every 6 hours. So make sure you use it. You can add it on top of the sale price. Alright, going back to the PlayStation Store, if you're looking for a racing game, then we have two options for you. Either Need for Speed Heat for $13.99 or Gran Turismo Sport for $9.99. Why I do recommend these two games? Because both of these are great in their own way, but they're also very different. Now, if you're looking for a real driving simulator game, then definitely go with the Gran Turismo. And I highly recommend it if you have a driving wheel. If you don't have driving wheel and you're gonna just play this game on the controller, then I wouldn't recommend Gran Turismo, and instead I will pick Need for Speed Heat because it's more fun, more arcadey, less realistic, but still the graphics still really great. You have a lot of customization to the cars, and you can still race online and offline. It has good story too. So It depends what you're looking for, but if you're looking for a racing game, I know many of our subscribers were talking to us about them. Both of these games are still great, and these are my picks for this week, and definitely they are worth trying out at this price.
Of course, another deal we want to make sure you guys are aware of. If you're interested in a few of the recent games that have been coming out, specifically Madden and NBA, we wanted to remind you guys that GameStop is still doing a promotion where whenever you trade in your games, you get a 30% extra boost to the trading credit. So if you're looking to pick up any of those titles, bring in anything you don't need, you can probably knock it up half off or even more, of course. You never know what you're running into, so it's definitely worth checking out. And we want to be able to remind our people that while we have our deals mostly on the PlayStation Store, a lot of the deals that we've been mentioning on our previous videos are still applicable. So if you want to check them out on our playlist on our channel, it's definitely worth a shot too if you're interested to save more on more great games. And of course, we want to remind you guys, we are inching ever closer to our 100 subscriber count, which we're finally going to be able to do a giveaway for a $10 PlayStation Store card. And we want to make sure you guys get in on it too. So yeah, we're always appreciative of any kind of feedback that we receive. It always helps us, and it can help you guys by keeping you guys in on the loop with our community, of course. And you get your name in for the giveaway for $10. So I'd always recommend giving it a shot. You never know what's going to happen as we inch closer to 100. You can help our community grow ever more by spreading the word, of course, and we'll always appreciate all of your feedback.
We hope you enjoyed the video for this week.
Of course, we want to pose the same question to you guys. We've been covering a couple games, but going into a lot of details. We want to make sure if you guys are appreciative of the format, or if you wanted to cover more games, but with less details. Any opinion, of course, feel free to let us know in the comments below.
Thank you for watching again, and be sure to check our channel next week for more deals. Also, if you got other consoles like Xbox or Nintendo Switch, we also got separate videos for those, so make sure you check them out.
See you next week.
See you.